Of the market, but they're all over. Big Swinger and the gates are back now. They're off in the Arrowfield, and jumping well was Imperial Force looking for the lead. Enriched the outside, and Jetta Setter right there, followed by Public Attention, Private Life. The one that put a fortune on here, Big Swinger, is back second, last 2 lengths away to Gatsby's. So Imperial Force is jogging in the lead. Josh Parr really put the brakes on it, and Enriched is happy with his spot on the outside, followed by Public Attention on the inside of Agenda Setter. 2 off to Private Life, a half the inside to Big Swinger, and 2 lengths away to Gatsby's last of all. So Imperial Force shooting for 3 in a row, under a double grip from Parr. A half in front to Enriched, 2 off then to Public Attention, Agenda Setter. Private Life peeling 3 wide. Big Swinger in a tricky spot as they straighten up. Imperial Force still under double wraps from Enriched the outside. He says go now Imperial Force, and Enriched cruised up on the outside. 3 away to Private Life, Public Attention. Big Swinger's got it all to do. 5 off them as Enriched laying in a little bit. Straightened up by Berry. Enriched gets a half now to Imperial Forces, fighting back. It's Enriched ahead in front and will win it. Enriched, a neck on the line to Imperial Force. Public Attention flew home photo for third. Big Swinger really lifted very late, but too late. Then Private Life, Gatsby's, and last to finish was Agenda Setter.
Yeah, Big Swinger, big result for the bookies. They get everything wagered on the biggest plunge of the day, but it's Enriched, number 3. Tommy Berry, Michael Freedman. What price was Autumn Glow going to start? Probably $1.35. Well, Enriched was only beaten just under 2 lengths in the Derby Munro by who else than Autumn Glow, and he has benefited from the missing in action sign posted by Autumn Glow.
Yeah, big result. Fell into their lap here. He did have the right form lines. He was very fit. We thought it was the best Sydney form, and it turned out that way. And you got, pretty good price to find out as it turned out. He's gone really well. Imperial Force fought hard, made Enriched work for it, and they dominated the race. Once they slowed up, really Big Swinger couldn't win after a slow start, and giving that much start in a race like that. They get a little tired late when they went for home on the top of the straight, but they were always in control of this race, with Enriched providing a worthy winner.
They had to run 1-2, Ronnie. They've run home in 32.84.
There you go.
19.52, but an absolute sprint home in 32.84.
Like Ronnie said, the race was pretty much over down the back when Josh Parr and Tommy Berry took the speed right out of the race. Like you could even see Damien Lane on the top weight Private Life get out and get going, trying to chase down the leaders. It was going to make it very difficult to come from behind when they're running times like that up front.
Yeah, the horse from just behind them in the box seat has run 3rd, Public Attention, and number 1 has run 4th, that is Private Life. 3, 5, 2 and 1, 19.52 the race time, and a dash home in 32.84. Impossible for anything to run past the 2 horses in the top 2 positions. A neck by 3/4, 3, 5, 2 and 1. So Enriched has now won a fireball, and he's now won the Group 2 Arrowfield Sprint, and he's still a colt, and he's a colt by I'm Invincible out of Miss Adam Bomb. Number 3 Enriched. Imperial Force, a colt by Schnitzel, has run 2nd for Baker and Parr, and Public Attention, a colt by Written Tycoon Chad Schofield for the Price Kent Yard. Waiting on Michael Freedman to join us, and Tommy Berry's about to go over the scales as well, Corey. He would have been giggling to himself there. As long as he had Josh Parr covered, he was on pretty good terms.
He had a lap full of horse, and it was just a matter of when he was going to push the button, and that he did. Congratulations, Tommy. Nice win.
Yeah, he wins the race at the start all the time. He's just got that brilliant speed, and you can use that and ask him, knowing that as soon as you put the bit in his mouth, he just comes back to you and relaxes so well. So after a furlong, we'd had one cheap sectional. I thought he just can't get beat, and it made it a bit easy with the mare being out of it today, but he would have given her a run for her money. He might not have beat her. She's pretty special, but he's a good colt. He's very well bred, so that will go a long way.
Well done, bud.
Cheers.
Okay, waiting on Michael Freedman to make his way up. That time again, 1:9:52.32.84 was the overall time. That'll bring us to race number 6. Still no action there at Doom, and although it has stopped raining, the Asahi Super Dry Australian Oaks coming up. Well done, Michael. Well, that was just a matter of whether you could beat Imperial Force, because the others weren't going to beat you.
Yeah, look, obviously coming into today, we were sort of wondering whether we were going to have enough improvement in us to beat the filly. So when she got scratched this morning, it opened the race up quite a bit. And Tommy and I had a good chat this morning about being positive from the gate, sitting either at leader's girth, which is what he ended up doing, or even I wouldn't have been opposed to him leading. Good turn of foot, that colt. He's a high-class horse, very well bred, so who knows, maybe he's got a future at stud somewhere.
Well, he sure has now. I mean, Fireball and now a Group 2 Arrowfield. I mean, an Arrowfield counts as a Group 1, really, on Championship Day.
Yeah, I'm probably being a bit biased saying it, but I think it does. It's one of those races that there's been some very good colts winning in the past that have gone to stud. Terrific result. They're such a great bunch of owners. Terry and Peter Board, who bred him and kept half of him when we bought him at the sales. David Wallace, who's been in the Congo and Wild Ruler, so he's not shy of being involved in a good colt. So I'm wrapped for the ownership group. They're a great bunch of people to train for.
I hope it's not over, but it caps off a great autumn, doesn't it? Great couple of weeks.
Oh, it's been amazing for the stable, and I know, in the heat of the moment, I sort of said after the slipper that, my staff are amazing. They do such a great job. For them, this sort of a win, as was the slipper, is as much about them as anything else, because they put in the hours. They're tireless in the commitment to the job. And they're not highly paid, but they do it for the love of it, and I'm very grateful for the job they do.
Pay them more.